Doug. Your
Can
thing says Mark Maddox.
Oh, I think he sent everybody that link.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it was his link. I mean, he sent out the agenda and he said, "Here's the link." And so I wonder whether will other people be able to use that link now, or
I hope so, but I resent the panelist link.
okay. Well, I just clicked on the one that was in his email because that's what popped up first.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Hopefully, it won't preclude him from
being able to join.
Oh, there he is. Well, no, that's not Mark.
Hi, Alec. I'm gonna rename you because everyone's gonna come on in as Mark. Okay. Can you do me a favor? Oh. You're muted.
We can't hear what you're saying.
It matches your skirt.
Oh yeah, it does.
Costco double purified water. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Mark, what am I assisting today with typing in? Okay, is that the same one that I sent you last time?
Yes, we'll just pick up where we left off.
Okay, I need to open that up. 1 second. Here we go.
So, Mark, what is that a picture of? It looks like a giant hand.
It is a giant hand. Let's see if I can move it to reduce it there. It's a limp wrist.
Okay.
So it's this. It's a queer API artist based in LA.
Connect my laptop. I'll be right back.
So did you get to go to the Enterprise events, or were you homesick?
No, I worked all of it.
Okay.
I know we randomly saw the pro tem who was on site because sheet metal workers were also in the same building.
Yeah, well, she had a good speech prepared, but life happens.
It sure does.
Well, I'm really glad you're back, Mark.
I will be honest that I am not fully back into the saddle yet after 7 days of conference, but we're here. And I think at least the ones we have to go through, well, it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Bunny.
Only now are you ready?
I am. Sorry about that. Okay, let me share my screen.
Not a problem.
We're recording this, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me record. Oh, it started recording. I forgot that we had that function. I'm gonna have to take out the whole first like few minutes, but I'll work on that. Okay, let me go ahead and share.
Awesome. While Alina's doing that, I'll call our Commission on Police Practices Ad Hoc Bylaws Committee to order at 4:03 p.m. Welcome, everyone. Does not look like we have any members of the public, so that will save us some time. Bonnie was sharing with Doug and Alec that just now sort of back into the saddle yesterday from a week and a half of conference that we hosted. So bear with me today. I will not be at my full usual self, but I think we can move along. I know that you all are committed to the process. No public comment. I believe, minus the sort of giant areas of around case review and training, we did complete through Article 4. So we are on Article 5, starting with Article 5 today. And then we have what will our process look like to bring in the training and case review feedback, and then some of the other areas that we tabled for us to consider. That sound like an accurate recap of where we are at? It's been a couple of weeks. Awesome. We ready to get started with Article 5 meetings?
Yes.
Fantastic. I will open it up for feedback. I also may look off to the side of another screen that has another version of this up, so I'm not ignoring.
I have no changes to make on Article 5, Section 1.
Yeah, something that is different since Dwayne came on board is that our closed meetings are now actually part of an open meeting. And so we open the meeting, sometimes have some preliminary stuff, then we go into closed session, we come back into open session.
Mm-hmm.
And so
we kind of need to combine, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, but I think we maybe we ought to just say for Section 1, meetings of the commission shall be held regularly in order to, so maybe just take out closed and open meetings, because the closed meetings are now a subset of open meetings or part of open meetings.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
session
it may be
rather
helpful
than a
to
meeting.
just say something like closed meetings may be held pursuant to government code section.
Well, that's Section 2. So maybe instead of closed meetings, we can put closed session. And so closed sessions are and I'm not sure we want to spell out how often they are.
I agree.
How held? So let me just say closed
Yeah,
sessions.
almost just strike that whole first sentence of Section 2.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
so Section 2, that first sentence that starts with close and ends with December, we're just going to strike it.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then so for the second one, change the meetings to sessions, so closed sessions.
Oh, I see.
And also in the heading.
Yes, in the heading, yes.
Oops. So here it's going to be closed.
No,
not
Section
there.
2.
Section 2 where it says closed.
Don't say closed sessions instead of closed meetings.
Okay, thank you.
And then in Section 1, we could just say meetings of the commission rather than closed and open meetings. So remember the first
Section
three
1, first
words.
sentence.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Here?
Right.
Yes. So just strike those first three words and capitalize M in meetings. And almost, Doug, to your point for number 3, do we want to get ourselves so limited in section 3?
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe
calendar.
I would say not, but I do think that
I would take out the except in December because it is saying normally.
right.
And get rid of that comma after month, please. Can you scroll down, please? That's fine with me.
And maybe instead of open meetings, we can say regular meetings. Because the next section is special meetings, so we're distinguishing between regular meetings and special meetings. So we can say regular meetings are normally held once a month to transact.
That would go for every time it mentions open.
In that section.
In that section.
Yeah, including the heading.
Do you think there's any issue with us basically now not referring to open meetings?
Well, our meetings are open to the public. I mean, regardless, you know.
I understand it. We're just not being explicit.
I think maybe reversing the order of section 2 and 3, because the language in this regular meeting section now talks about communicating with the public, hearing public testimony. So maybe it's section 1 general, section 2 regular meetings, section 3 closed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sorry, section 2 will be regular meetings. Section 3 will be closed meetings.
Yeah, so you're just going to reorder them.
Yeah.
I'm not changing the verbiage. I'm just moving.
Yep.
What section 2? Okay.
Yep.
And can you scroll up and what was the title of section 1? It was okay, general. Okay.
So yeah, just move section 3 above section 2 and renumber them.
Okay.
What'd you forget? I'm at my office.
Okay, good with that. 4 and 5 are fairly straightforward.
Section
thoughts on 4 or 5?
It's the section 32, whereas it was 2 lined out. Go back up to where you made the change. Yeah, see 32, section 32.
No,
it's that a 2 line?
It's crossed.
Red line.
Okay.
Sorry. Do you want me to take off the view of the red line so it just looks like this? Oop.
No, I like it having it done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then special meetings.
I have a suggestion for the special meetings. On the second line where it says meeting may be called by the chair of the cabinet or by a vote of commission members. Add majority vote of commission members.
Okay with me. Before vote.
Oh.
Before vote.
Put the word majority before vote. Is that what you were saying, Octavio?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then for the first sentence, maybe take out and maybe either closed or open.
So ended at needed.
Yeah, as needed. Okay, the rest of it looks good.
Yeah.
Subject to the naming and gendered language convention that is now part of city policy, would remove in section 5 his or her in the last paragraph of sentence 1, or the last sentence of paragraph 1, sorry.
Here?
What?
Oh, no, sorry, paragraph 1.
Yeah. And so
we.
Oh, his or her
This
comes out. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, well, and the an issue that came up is whether you want to, because the language here says that members are expected to vote on all issues and must state the reason for any abstention. And I know there are some people who want to strike that so that people can abstain.
Wait, can that sentence doesn't make sense now. What are we replacing his or her with?
There.
Okay.
THEIR.
And so I would just maybe strike the second sentence altogether.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Is not required to vote, however, the chair may vote, yeah.
Sorry, hold on. I don't want to take out the. There.
Everyone else feels good about that?
Yes.
No formal action to the quorum. The requirement for quorum shall be. Oh, requirement for shall be a majority of the filled seats in the commission, with a minimum number of 7 commissioners needed to conduct business. You know, I think that's okay, but that would mean, I mean, we put that in there because we came to a situation where our numbers dwindled, and we didn't want, when we had 10 commissioners, to have 5 people making a decision. So we said that there's going to be 7. Hopefully our numbers will never dwindle that much in the future.
Why don't we just take the second half of that out? Because don't we simply need a majority in order to conduct business? 7 does not allow us to conduct business.
Well, this was saying that if the quorum would be a majority of the filled seats on the commission, probably you're right. It's not worded properly there, but it was the intent of that was that the quorum would be a majority of the commission, but if it, I think it's worded correctly there. And so what it's saying is that if you had, say there were only 10 seats filled, then a majority would normally be 6, because you have to have at least a majority, and this is saying 7. I would maybe just take out with a minimum of 7 commissioners needed to conduct business.
Right.
And the key thing there is filled seats. You know, yes. so if we only have 15 filled seats instead of 25, then our majority, then the quorum would be 8, whereas if it was a majority of the seats, it would be 13. So that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Is a filled seat, does that mean people present at the meeting, or does that mean the number of commissioners on the commission?
Number of commissioners on the commission.
Right. In other words, we don't count vacant seats.
Like right now, what do we have? 21 or something?
I think 21, right? And so a majority would be 11. But if we didn't have the word filled in there, then the majority would be 13. That's an important distinction.
Good on Article 5?
Yes.
I'm good.
If folks are fine with it, knowing that we may spend more of our time on committees, can we skip to 7 and 8 and return to 6?
Yes.
And why is that again?
Because I think committees, based off of some of our previous conversations,
Oh,
may just
yeah.
take more time. So I'd rather us get through some of this stuff, and then that way, if we need to table, we're just tabling for a conversation that we're already ready to have in a longer amount of time. All right, 7, administration.
It says serves under the will. I think it should be serves at the will and direction of the commission.
Yeah.
Okay, aren't we still in discussion about this with the
No,
city?
because you know that's in the ordinance. It says the executive director is appointed by the city council and serves at the will and direction of the commission. That's in the ordinance and the charter. What we're in discussion with is who selects, not who appoints.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just want to get the implementation ordinance in front of me.
Yeah, and actually that may be, there's actually 2 ordinances. One of them is the implementation ordinance and the other is the ordinance that's titled Office of the Commission on Police Practices.
Yeah, OCPP.
Right. And I think that language is there, but that language is also in the charter. That's where it comes from.
Just want to.
Do we I'm looking at the, oh, never mind. I'll wait till we get there.
I think for this, I will want to just review it for compliance with what is already now law. Other thoughts?
That looks good to me.
Octavio, any?
Item number 7. Are we there yet?
Yeah.
I don't think the executive directors should be required to attend committee meetings. Is that what it says there?
That's correct.
Although if you look up, it says that go back up to before you get to the numbers. It says responsible for facilitating the work of the commission, which is
including but not limited to.
Yeah, but I mean, so it doesn't really. I guess the word is facilitating, so it doesn't mean that the executive director has to personally attend committee meetings.
This is what it sounds like.
You know, but maybe we got to reword that then. But yeah, I do think that the executive director. So maybe scroll down to where that was it 7, Octavio?
Yeah, 7.
Attend all CPP meetings, and maybe and ensure staffing at committee meetings, and provide staffing for committee meetings.
Like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I could also see though on that note about what the opening paragraph says, that all of these could be read in some of that way. So it may be more helpful to put something like ED or their designee.
Yeah.
In that is the executive director or their staff designee is responsible for.
Yes.
Sorry, how do you want me to write this?
Wait, does the ordinance?
So,
how much of this is in the ordinance? I don't have that in front of me.
Less. So we have a fair amount of room to interpret. So Alina, back up at start of the start of section 1, where it says section 1, executive director.
Mhm.
So in a sense, the second sentence of that, the executive director or their designee, so executive.
Okay, yeah, so if we do that, we can maybe leave number 7 as it is then.
Yeah.
I would still take out the second half because it's more specific and I don't think it reads right.
For which one? For number 7?
7.
I like the and provide staffers in the place of including, and provide staffers at committee meetings.
Maybe staffing instead of staffers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or provide staff support.
There you go.
We put staff support and refreshments.
Virtual refreshment?
You change the and to an or.
Okay.
Okay.
Other thoughts on section 1?
Does the ordinance require the entire commission to do the performance appraisal?
Well, just as I think, yes. I mean, the way that it would normally be done would be that there would be, probably the personnel committee that would do it or the cabinet that would do it, but the commission as a whole would do the performance evaluation in a closed session.
Okay.
And I think that's the way that it's spelled. It says in the ordinance is the commission shall.
Yes.
Okay.
Section 2.
In my initial notes, I had some comments on this that it says in consultation with the cabinet. And I just feel like our independent legal counsel is so critical that I was taking issue with the language of in consultation. I think my notes said that consultation is useless. I wanted something like with the approval of, not for any other staff.
Right.
But those are just my thoughts. I don't know how you all feel about that.
Maybe with the concurrence of the cabinet.
Alec, what do you think about that?
Wasn't listening. I was looking up the duties of the executive director in the ordinance.
Mm.
So I'm sorry. I vote with Bonnie.
In section 2, independent legal counsel, I feel like that is such a critical position that I wanted I wanted it to say something more than in consultation. The hiring is by the executive director in consultation with the cabinet, and I was suggesting that it would be with the approval of, or Doug, what did you say?
Concurrence.
Yeah, something like that.
I think approval of is clearer than concurrence.
It is. Would you guys be okay with the approval of the cabinet?
Fair to me.
Okay.
Good there.
I am.
Alec, Octavio, good. Doug?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, Article 8.
That looks good. You might want to change open to regular, but that's about the only change I can think of.
Yeah, consistently across the board, they say regularly scheduled open, so we could say regularly scheduled commission meeting.
Do we have anywhere in the bylaws that indicates that Robert's Rules of Order is the parliamentary authority?
I believe in section 1.
Oh, is it in the you're correct. There it is. I just want to make sure it was there. Thank you. Yeah.
I just want to say that given that, you know, any changes to the bylaws have the possibility of public scrutiny, I do think it's important for us somewhere to state, to not assume and state clearly that our meetings are open meetings. I don't want anyone to think that we're changing things from open to regular for some, you know,
unscrupulous purpose.
Yeah. Because that's not the case.
Maybe, and actually, we're kind of well, maybe just at a regular schedule. Well, maybe make the not capitalize open, just at a regularly scheduled open commission meeting.
Sure.
Okay. And this assumes that we're going to have a rules committee, which I would recommend, but we haven't decided that yet.
True.
Maybe I just make a note that.
Yeah, if you'll put a comment on that one, Alina, thank you.
You know, pending committee structure.
Can someone explain section 2 to me?
Yeah, section 2 is rules of order that are different than Robert's Rules of Order. So, for example, the former CRB had a rule that you could debate an issue without having a motion on the floor. And so then they would put, you know, under Robert's rules, you can't have discussion and new business unless you have a person that makes a motion, then you discuss the motion.
Right.
And that didn't work well for what we did. And so we had a rule that said that. So basically, section 2 are exceptions to Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah, that's a really common one. It's like you have nothing to discuss unless you have a motion pending, but people want to discuss things. They don't want to make a motion, right?
Right.
So you think this is a useful thing? We should keep it the way it is? Let's do that.
Yeah, I would say yes, maybe with the same note regarding the rules committee evaluation.
Section 3.
And any other city department? Why not and all other city departments? It just reads weird to me, the first sentence.
And strike including SCPD to say all city departments.
Yes. Unless that's specific language from the ordinance, it just reads weird.
No, I think it's fine to say it and all other city departments.
You see where we're at in the first sentence, Alina, near the end of the right there, and all other city departments. Period.
Departments plural.
Departments plural. And then delete the rest of the sentence. Thank you.
The only other thing is, I don't know if we want to add in here, would be to the final sentence, because some of it is subject to meet and confer, because there's different operating things that we may have. But that,
but it's approved by the city council. I guess you could, but that's part of the city council approval process. The city council, you send it to the city council, and the city council takes care of the meet and confer.
I think it's fine then. We don't need to overcomplicate it. 4, are we good on 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do with the distinction between 3 and 4 is saying that if you have something that where you're interacting with another department, that's something that we can't do on our own. We can't mandate what other departments do, and that's why it requires city council approval. But if we have something strictly internal, then we can do it on our own with having to go through city council. Now, Dwayne may have some thoughts on that, but
Okay.
and the only thing I might say is that there are some references to operating procedures in the ordinance. There's a lot of references to operating procedures, and Dwayne said it's not really clear of whether or not all those operating procedures need to be approved by the city council, because the ordinance is kind of vague. It makes reference to governance procedures that have to be approved, but they make reference to things like
An operating procedure for preparing the submission of an annual report, but that does not mention, like for that one, for example, that does not mention anything about council approval of that procedure, just that we have to do it.
Right. And so I think we're operating under an assumption that those types of procedures don't require city council. And I don't think the city council wants to get involved in, how we put together our annual report, or how we we're required to have community forums a certain number of times a year and so forth. And I don't think the city council wants to get involved in those types of details of our operations. So I would keep it as it is.
That's how I read it.
We may want to change it to administrative operating procedures as opposed to operational, but I would keep that language there, and unless Dwayne has a better suggestion.
Sounds good.
I'm in concurrence. All right, back.
Am I making a change on here?
No.
No, okay.
Nope.
Other than I would do the same thing with every time we say, maybe we can do this globally. Instead of capitalizing open commission meeting, just put small open, because we're not really, creating a new type of meeting. And so.
Right. So on the fourth line, it says open commission meeting. So that would be lowercase.
Yeah, and I think that's what Doug's point. We do need to
3.
Probably easier to do a find and replace.
Yeah.
So I know I made the change to section 4, but will that apply here as well? Okay, so I'll leave it.
Yes. All right. Back to Article 6 with about 12 minutes.
So Article 6 is the committees. Well, maybe we can.
And
page 10.
Actually, I think we can do the first couple, and then maybe we can have a quick discussion of what we think should be the committees. And we probably won't have time today to do definitions for each of the committees, but I think we could definitely do the first section, and then maybe for the second section we can come up with what we think should be the committees.
Sounds fair to me. Can Doug, you drive that for conversation for a moment? I desperately need to use the restroom.
Okay. So just let everybody read the first section.
Article 1, Section 1, general. First paragraph looks good to me.
And maybe instead of members of a committee, because I know Dwayne was talking about not referring to them as members, maybe because they're non-voting consultants of a committee.
Where are you at?
I'm on the last sentence of may appoint community members as non-voting consultants, advisors.
We don't like that, or Dwayne doesn't like that?
Right.
Okay. So should we just strike it entirely?
Well, no, I think it's important that we be able to bring in community members. He just doesn't like them being referred to as a member.
Oh, I see.
And
so we may appoint community members for what purpose?
To provide input.
Okay.
And so non-voting.
Yeah, strike the non-voting members of the committee part.
Yeah, well, maybe just put non-voting advisor, or maybe as I guess if we use the term advisors, it's pretty clear that they're not voting.
Yeah, just the chair may appoint community members as advisors. Period. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just advisory members of the committee?
Well, see, Dwayne had an issue with having people appointed as members, even if they're not voting. And so.
All right, so what am I putting on here?
The chair may appoint community members and strike as non-voting members of the committee, and just put it, chair may appoint community members as advisors.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
You don't need to pick up the as.
The sentence should read, the chair may appoint advisors.
Sorry, the chair may appoint community members as advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I heard? Okay. Sorry, I think my connection.
To a committee?
Yeah, maybe to the committee, as advisors to the committee, or to a committee.
To a committee.
To a committee.
No. After advisors.
At the very end.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And actually, I think the language for this next paragraph actually comes from the Brown Act, because the Brown Act has the distinction between standing committees and ad hoc committees.
Yeah, that paragraph is acceptable.
Fine with me.
Good.
So we're doing the next paragraph, we're doing committee chairs differently. We picked our own without waiting for appointment by the chair.
But I think in the future, it makes sense for the, that's the way most organizations do it, is that the, although we may want to put committee chairs of all committees shall be members
Of the commission.
We may want to have it ratified by the commission. Do people agree with that?
Have what ratified? The chair?
No, the chair of the committee. And so the committee chair would be appointed by the, committee chairs of all committees shall be members of the commission unless otherwise specified. Committee chair shall be appointed, by the commission chairs over a one-year term. So the question is, do we want to have the full commission ratify the appointments of the chairs?
I don't. I think it was more efficient the way we did it. We just said, I want you or I want you. And we all said, yeah, let's have that person do it on the particular committee.
Mm-hmm.
That way we don't have to take the time of the entire commission.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an extra hoop. And I think that what Alec is pointing out is that we, Gloria did not appoint the chair of this committee.
Right.
Okay, but this is saying that in the future she would.
I know, and I think we're calling that into question.
Yeah, I think that's unnecessary.
Do we want to distinguish between standing and ad hoc committees? Just a thought.
Wait, you're talking about the chairs?
Yes.
I don't know. But what are people's thoughts? I mean, should the chairs be appointed by the, three options are to have the chairs appointed by a vote of the commission, appointed by the chair of the commission, or appointed by the chair of the commission and ratified by a vote of the commission.
How about committee chairs shall be selected by majority vote of that committee?
Okay.
Well, I think we should make a distinction between standing committees and ad hoc committees.
Okay, and in what way? In terms of how the chairs are selected?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So it seems to me that standing committees, I don't want to say that they're more important, but they're not a task force, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see leading the language in there, changing it to the committee chairs of all standing committees shall, where are we? Unless otherwise specified herein, committee chairs of all standing committees shall be appointed by the commission chair to serve a one-year term. And then have a different rule for ad hoc committee chairs.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So ad hoc committee chairs shall be selected by a majority vote of the committee members, which is what we did.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
What do you guys think? Mark, have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd just clean up. So for sentence 2 of that, I'd say unless otherwise specified herein, standing committee chairs for sentence 2, Alina, of that. So up unless, so in front of committee chairs, just put standing.
Unless otherwise specified hearing, comma, then add the part Mark's talking
Standing.
about. Right there. Yeah.
Standing.
Yeah.
Right
Right there. Yeah, that's it.
And standing should be
Standing
capitalized.
should be capitalized, yeah.
Okay, then have committee
Noted
chairs.
point. And then down below at the beginning of the next sentence, do you want to leave the unless otherwise specified herein, or no? Is that redundant?
Well, I think maybe it's where's
I think this is the specified herein, so I think it is redundant.
Agreed.
Yeah, okay.
but see why reason I think that is there is the nominating committee has a different process. And so the nominating committee is a standing committee, but it's not appointed by in other words, the nominating committee is not appointed by the chair. The nominating committee chair is not appointed by the chair. It's a vote of the commission.
And where's that?
That's further down when it gets to nominating committee.
I see. So, but for right now, where you have the cursor right now, Alina, is that sentence should say ad hoc committee chairs shall be selected by a majority vote of
The ad hoc committee members.
yeah.
And
New sentence.
Comma and.
Yeah,
Yes.
and comma and. Yeah.
And then on the next one, I would maybe start a new paragraph where it says standing committee chairs have the following task.
Right.
So there's
It's much clearer. Yeah.
Mhm.
and,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah, and the only question I would have is, did we already talk about the executive committee?
No.
Okay, then maybe just put the same thing where you have the executive committee, assuming that we have an executive committee.
Yeah, number 5. No, you go up.
Number 5 is that serve as a member of the executive committee. The executive committee is the officers and committee chairs.
Oh, too far.
Oh, I see. So yeah, scroll down a little bit. See,
Keep
there's
going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's it. You're on it.
This one. And what I'm sorry, what am I adding to
Doug
this?
wants to put in a note there.
Yeah, put a
I
note
see.
saying subject to committee structure.
Okay. Mm. Okay.
Okay. And then do we want to talk about, I'm not sure what our time is. We've got like 7 minutes. If you want to talk about what we think the committees should be. I mean, I kind of like them.
I
except
think
that
maybe that's better
yeah, go
for
ahead.
homework.
That's
I
fine
think
too.
just so that we don't rush it, so we can view it in totality, so that way we can start our next meeting just with committees, and so we're not like reading down the list today and we only get to maybe policy, but we haven't looked at it in totality. So I would ask for a homework that we look at all of those and come specifically with standing committee and ad hoc committee thoughts the next week, and then we can start to check through our punch list of other items that have gone unresolved.
Okay.
Anything for the good? Yes, thank you, Elena. Anything for the good of the order?
No, nice to see you all.
What does
Yes,
that mean?
same. Whatever else you have to say.
For the good of the order. When are we meeting again? Next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday.
And when is the next full commission meeting?
No, that is the next full commission meeting.
Oh, next Wednesday?
I have Tuesday the 7th.
Yes.
And then we are Thursday.
Thursday we have a
5
meeting.
o'clock, Tuesday, 7 to 5?
I think
Correct.
is it 5 to 7 or is it 4:30 to
I have 5 to
5.
8 on that one.
what?
It's
Alina will tell us.
Do we have a
Sorry.
What,
location?
Alina?
It's 4:30 to about 7:30. We're trying.
Where?
Yeah, 7:30. Let's say that.
Where?
It's at Skyline again.
Okay.
We hate Skyline.
I hear. I'm sorry.
It's a nice room, but it's getting there takes an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try moving forward to find different places.
Can't have everything.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for your time this afternoon. So we will adjourn at 4:54, and we will see each other all very soon.
Okay.
Peace out.
Thank you, Mark.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Bye, folks. Thank you.